What's up, everyone? Welcome to the APO podcast, the unofficial podcast of Alpha Phi Omega Zeta Omicron chapter. My name is Gregg Yasuda, and with me today is
Patrick Troy de Guzman. Don't forget the Troy.
You don't sound very sure about yourself.
Really? I'm pretty sure. No, oh man, I don't even know. Because, yeah, people call me like Patricia now at this church community group. I'll talk about that later, but it's weird. Anyways, go on, Greg.
You shouldn't say things like that, because now, not that a lot of people listen to this, but the few people who might will start calling you that now.
Oh, shoot. Whatever, man. It's
Anyways,
okay.
This is going to be the second alumni interview. Hopefully the second of many to come. This summer was supposed to be kind of a recap of the 2014-2015 school year, but we're kind of putting that on hold, and I was able to get a hold of Patrick, and he's willing to sit down with me to talk about what he's been up to lately. And as such, what have you been up to lately, Patrick?
Oh man, it's just work and life. You know, life outside the whole college life. It's different. It's good in some ways, and you kind of miss college altogether. And it's definitely something. You know, it's different. Actually, my first year after graduating, people frequently saw me going back to slow a little bit, maybe a little too much. But you know, it's one of those things you kind of ease into the whole after college life. And you do that by visiting once in a while. Because, you know, I still had a few people from APO over in San Luis Obispo. So, yeah, had to go say hi to them and everything.
Yeah, I was there recently with Jess and Ben and Kat. Who else was there? And some like alumni from UC Berkeley. And yeah, it's good to go back. But every now and then I'm always thinking about going back to school for whatever reason. And I think it's always like thinking about tests and midterms and all that other projects and whatever always gets me to calm down and just appreciate work for what it is, I guess.
Yeah. No, when I think about college, I ignore thinking about all that stuff. So you're kind of doing it wrong, man. No, I'm just playing. But like, yeah, that's true. Work right now is good. It's cool to be actually doing something that you like to do too. And I feel like I'm definitely doing that. Mm-hmm. You know, the whole civil engineering thing, it's going well. Actually unemployed right now though, so
we can talk about that later, but that's sort of a false truth, but whatever. So let's go through some of your credentials in Alpha Phi Omega. You were part of the Alpha Nu pledge class spring 2010. Stop me if I get any of this wrong. Namesake was Brie Keefe.
Pretty sure.
This next one you're not sure about at all. Pledge class number 18.
Oh man, people are gonna call me out for this probably, but what? Plus or minus 10.
Plus or minus 10.
Yeah, right. No, I'm pretty sure.
Pledge eds are Tracey, Chau, and Zabanal. Yeah,
I'll give you 100% on that. It's for sure them.
Awesome. I remember your pledge class. You pledged a year after I did. I was pretty active in APO around spring 2010. I remember specifically, and this is really about you, when we were picking bigs and littles, I just remember the biggest fights over who wanted you as their little.
Oh, man.
I've already talked to you at length about this.
Yeah, there's some Fight Club status going on over there, right? It's like
not that bad, but like it's like people get in like other people's faces like, no, he's mine, and stuff like that.
Oh,
but Janet ended up being your big, which I think actually really paid off because Janet's a really, really, really great friend and a great person. She's contributed a lot to APO, and I think she had a really, really good impact on you versus I was one of those people who wanted you too, but I don't think I would have nearly as good an impact on you if I was your big. So take that for what it is.
We would have just played guitar.
Probably it would have just been guitar all the time or something. I don't know.
It would have been our last year, because just to let people out there know, Gregg was my roommate our last year of college. So yeah, just putting that out there.
Good times. Do you want to talk a little bit about your pledge process or like your experience with it?
Yeah, Phi Omega. It was something that I wasn't really looking to join, or any fraternity for that matter. Um, it was just one of those things. I kind of wanted to do community service in college, and I was in Key Club in high school, so I was looking for something similar. And Alpha Phi Omega, fell on my lap over my spring quarter of my freshman. Great. I heard you and Nate talking about it. Nate was saying it wasn't as lenient. I guess my quarter was kind of when Tracey and Don stepped it up, crackdown. It was good though. Got close to a lot of my pledge brothers. Still talk to a lot of them. And the pledging process itself is people, are worried about the whole, like the whole, whatever you have to do to get into the fraternity. But it's not about that. Like there's no hazing, first of all, and it's really an opportunity for you to get to know what Alpha Phi Omega is about and see if you like it. And if you like the atmosphere, I say why not give it a try in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. I think
a whole other thing. So yeah,
if I was a good opportunity for a lot of people to take like their first jump into I guess a bigger part of like extracurricular activities. I mean, there are other clubs on campus that do that, but I think there's something a little bit like we kind of walk that middle ground between the clubs and the larger fraternities. But I think it's a good balance.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some of the questions I asked. I asked some of these. These are very similar to the questions I asked Nate, so I think you'll be ready to answer most of them. Is there anything you wish you could have accomplished in APO but were unable to for whatever reason?
Man, I was actually historian for a good summer, and that kind of ended pretty quickly. But yeah, I wish I maybe become historian again. And there were times that I did wish I stepped up and took a higher position, maybe vice president or even membership vice president or even president, because that was something I was aspiring to do even just as a pledge. But unfortunately, there was the battle between school and extracurriculars, and I wanted to put more time and make sure I get out of Cal Poly.
I mean, we always do encourage everyone to be students first because that's why we're there. Never forget why you're at school. But yeah, I was going to change a lot of these questions, but then I thought about it and I was like, I do remember you being historian for a little small bit and then just drop the position for personal reasons. But I understand. I totally get it. I don't know. I mean, despite like not doing exec board, how do you think AFIO has helped you with your job, and not just that, but dealing with job interviews and all that stuff?
AFIO helped out a lot. I feel like I was a lot more quieter back then, like I was too. But with and just to communicate what you know and what you don't know, just being, it builds confidence being surrounded by people who accept you for who you are, because you don't have to put up a front. You don't have to put up. It's just you can be real, and then just being confident in yourself. That definitely applies to the work life, and being confident in your skills and being confident in your just who you are and what just really world.
Cool, I agree. Do you think you like gleaned anything from your interviews that you had to do with like your fellow pledge brothers or pledges in the chapter, or not pledges? Yeah, I guess so. And I guess interviews with actives.
And just like what I got from the
or like, do you think it helped like when you were doing job interviews? Like you mentioned about how you can be yourself and be real, but do you think that just like talking to people, getting to know somebody and how to kind of think on your feet kind of stuff aspect of it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because let's say I didn't do all these interviews, over the period of time I was in AFIO, I probably did over 100 interviews. Just count the members that are there, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it just really gets you practice of being able to talk to someone and being able to become a little more personable, and that's a big thing. Just being comfortable with the person sitting across from you.
Because you're going to talk to people from all walks of life, and not all of them are going to be engaging or
Yes.
exactly. So that's awesome. All right, let's move on to Fireside chat, which is just me. I'm going to spit a bunch of questions at you, and I'm not going to tell you to answer as fast as you can because you might say something that you might regret. So take some time. I'm going to ask you, take a moment, and then answer. All right. What's your favorite word?
Favorite word? Okay. Man, I don't even. God dang it. Okay. It's like I can't. There's this word in my mind, and I don't want to say it because it's the word that Nate says all the time, and I just got to refer back to him. Like you know, you said we can refrain from answering these questions, right? Like it's just this is like the easiest question too. I don't know why I can't answer it, but you know.
I think I know, and I think if you know Patrick, you can know, and if you don't know, you should contact him on your own time and then ask him off the record.
Yeah, if I get an unknown number or text, I'm just gonna. The first thing I'll say is that word, and the first thing I'll text you is that word. Who is this? That word.
Gotcha. All right, moving on. What is your least favorite word? Oh, God, I hope it's not the same.
Yeah, my least favorite word is my least favorite phrase, or I guess you could just let's just make this into a whole pet peeve thing. Is any negative words that kind of try to put you down or like make you like say like you're not able to do it. Mm-hmm. So like like quit or like you're not good enough. That type of stuff. It's like, you know, use that as fuel, make it your least favorite word, and just be like, nah, I can do it. So yeah, it'll be good.
All right, I dig it. It's kind of like how I think of like it's one of my least favorite words is can't, yes. And I think it's in the same vein as what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a much better way of explaining it.
All right, moving on. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally? It could be any of those things. You don't have to do all of them.
Okay, cool. But like the first thing is what turns you on. when I heard you present this to Nate, I was like, in what way? So like I know creatively, spiritually, emotionally, but those can all okay, anyways.
Your head's somewhere else right now.
What turns me on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally? I'm gonna go with the whole emotional factor. In terms of what drives me. So that's kind of how I'm going to interpret this question. What turns me on emotionally in how it drives me to do something? I would say it's my siblings, honestly. Mm-hmm. I'm really close to my family, and just like being a role model, because I'm the eldest in my family, being a role model for my siblings is something that makes me want to, you know, strive to do my best. And it kind of fills me with that emotion, like, oh, I want to do this, you know, can, you know, be a role model for them. So that's what turns me on in that way.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's your favorite curse word? Oh,
it's man. A curse. No, but what is my favorite curse word? I honestly did not curse a lot before I joined A5. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Take that out, whatever you want, man.
This is all Tracey and Dawn's fault. Look what they did to you.
Tracey and Dawn, I know, right? I was such a sweet, innocent guy, and then my favorite curse word is probably, I just throw it out there like the F word. I never curse with the purpose of, you know, trying to, you know, curse someone off. It's just, I don't know how it got, you know, into my whole vocabulary, but just because surroundings, I guess. But the F word, I guess, it just flavors my vocabulary. In certain situations, I'm not going to go to a business meeting and be like, hey, you know.
Just dropping F-bombs on the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think work has definitely turned my cussing down a lot. And it's just being aware of who you're talking with, who's amongst like your peers. Like maybe they're not comfortable with it, so
Yeah,
that's where I'm coming from.
definitely. That I like that.
What sound or noise do you love?
um, the sound of laughter. Just like everyone has such a unique laugh, and there's some people who you just don't get the joke, but just because they're cracking up to the max, it's like, oh man, I'm laughing so hard because you are laughing so hard, and yeah, you just laugh with them. The sound of laughter, man.
I've watched
Smiling.
I've watched videos from the chapter that I thought were really funny at the time, and I'm going back to them, they're not funny.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're talking about. You have to. It's a combination of being in the moment, but yeah, hearing somebody else laugh, definitely gets you to laugh.
It's contagious. Laughter is contagious.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. What sound or noise do you hate?
When I was a kid, I used to wear corduroy pants all the time. And not only did it make a noise, but it also gave me bad rashes. So it's like, just it's a good thing that right?
I hate corduroy pants.
It's a good thing that's out of style, I think, right? It should be by now.
I think it made a small resurgence when I was in high school, and I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why is everyone doing this? And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, windbreakers. Let me say,
you don't like that. You don't like that noise?
No, when you're playing heads up 7-up, it's so hard. Like you can't win if you're wearing a windbreaker.
Ooh. Yeah, I haven't played Heads Up 7-Up in a long time. I think we played that in the chapter once.
Yeah, one time
once.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Patrick, you're currently doing a civil engineer type of job. Well, actually, you're actually unemployed right now, technically, right?
Yeah, I got no job right now, man.
No, but for real, like, you're supposed to like start a new job tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Feels good.
You're gonna be employed tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yes.
Anyways, if you were gonna do another profession other than civil engineering, what would you like to do? And money is no object.
Money is no object. Can I change my physical properties as well? I would I always joke around when people ask me, what would you do if you weren't a civil engineer? And I would say, I'd like to be in the NBA. And that was the profession that I think I could excel at. No. But in all seriousness, my big was a psychology major. And so just that combined with just like how people interact, maybe like sociology, just not considering money or anything, but I always was just interested in just studying or like kind of researching why we are how we are. And it's more, and even just like, maybe in the future when you're raising kids, it's like, how do I make sure I raise my kids? So, like what influences us, our surroundings and how people interact is pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Jess did a little bit of psychology in college, and the little bit I talked to her about it, yeah, it's something I'd like to look into too if I wasn't doing what I'm doing. But
yeah.
Anyways, is there anything?
Have you told? Wait, 1 second. Have you told people what you do?
I think I've briefly said it, if not on this, but maybe on the other thing that I do with Alex and Nate. But
all right.
I guess for you, because I never really told you either.
Yeah.
So right now I'm working for Wente Vineyards. It's a winery in Livermore. It's the oldest and largest family-owned winery in California, in the United States.
Nice.
I want to say California for now because I might get it wrong. Right now I'm doing QC for them, so I'm looking at like the last QC, the quality check before it goes into bottle, and then they send it out and stuff. So
okay.
A lot of opportunities to drink wine, all that stuff. Really cool.
Yeah, see your Snapchats all the time, man.
Yep. Harvest is coming up pretty soon, so I'm going to be pretty busy. But I always appreciate working overtime and all that other stuff because, I could use the money.
Nice.
Anyways, moving on. Next question. What profession would you never do under any circumstances?
What I would never do. I don't think I could be a truck driver, man. Like driving those big rigs and everything. What's funny is that I like designed that stuff, like making sure they can make the turns.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I don't know how you guys do that. Like for also long hours, you're just on the road all the time, and you know, people are passing you all the time. You make you feel bad. But yeah, I don't think I'd be a truck driver. Also, what do you eat when you're a truck driver?
Sandwiches, like, burritos,
gas station burritos all day, every day, right?
Oh man. This reminded me of something I thought about the other day. I was in Los Angeles the other weekend. It was a couple weekends ago, okay. And we were driving down the 5, and I was following like a big rig on Highway 5, and he was like just booking it down Highway 5. He's going like 90. And I was reading up that like those truck drivers, like, you know, they're supposed to go slower. Like going over the speed limit like that is like a felony. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So.
He's tired of his job, man.
I guess so.
He wants to be a race car driver.
I also see like those trucks, and it's kind of like all decked out and shiny and stuff. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I kind of if I was gonna like drive a truck around, I want like a really fancy truck too.
Yeah, you gotta have Exhibit pimp your ride. Dude, that's the only way.
You want Exhibit to come to your house and pimp your ride?
Pimp your truck, dude.
Pimp my truck.
Your big rig.
All right, last question, Patrick.
All right.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the Pearly Gates?
It's not your time yet, and send me back down, dude. Like, wouldn't that feel good? It's like you have a higher purpose. You're not done, and like to get back, and then you just have a mission. That's pretty epic, right?
You know, I just thought like that sounded like when Gandalf came back.
There you go. That's who I want to be. I want to be Gandalf.
That's tight. I never heard that response before. I like that answer, Patrick. So that's the last of my questions. Do you have any last comments or words to the chapter before we say goodnight?
Oh, the chapter. Well, yeah, you know, Zeta Omicron. Just keep in touch with all the alumni. You know, alumni weekend, we'll try to make it out, but keep us involved. Send us some newsletters or something, you know. Let us know what's happening. Stay strong. If you have any questions, we're all here. Ready to listen and ready to help because we still care about you guys. You know, we went through all that, and yeah, you know, give me a call.
I don't think you want them calling you, do you?
Email me, and then I'll probably ignore it for a week or two, but I'll get to you.
So Patrick, what's the best way for people to find you on the internet if they wanted to contact you?
To find me on the internet, well, essentially just use the name Pinoy at Trouble. It's something from junior high. It's stuck throughout my whole life. So Pinoy at Trouble, that's PINOYATT Rubble. So yeah.
For sure. If you want to contact me or on the internet, you can find me at Yasuda at most places. That's at Y0S0DA. Patrick, I interrupted you. What did you want to say?
Oh, did you? I didn't. Yeah, just contact Gregg and he'll give you my stuff.
All right.
Everyone's gonna call you, bro.
Damn it. All right. So this wraps up this episode and the interview with Patrick Troy de Guzman. If you have any questions you'd like to submit to us for us to answer on the show or just in general, please email apozopodcast@gmail.com. I think that's it. I already asked for your final thoughts, right? I got stopped.
Yeah, you got it.
No one else can see this, but Patrick's like writing all over the show notes, and they're very obscene words that I cannot stand there.
There's one obscene word over and over. That's it. Exaggerating.
Please message Patrick on Facebook about what this might be if you really want to know. Anyways, so this has been the APO podcast. Please tune in every other week for this. I think this is like the first consecutive week where I've done this. But anyways, email us if you have questions. Otherwise, good night.